friendo, Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. One of my favorite things to do here at WrestleJuice is to go back in time, take our time ship back, and take a look at old wrestling rumors from day past, old rumors, and see what panned out, what didn't pan out, did plans change, etc., etc., because let's face it, oftentimes the behind-the-scenes stuff is more interesting than what we see on TV. And so I'm going to look back at the rumor roundup of cage side seats from September of 2014. That's right, my math is off. 7 years ago, lucky number 7, I guess. We're going to take a look at this rumor roundup. Now, keep in mind, here's one thing I want to mention. I actually really do appreciate all the people that put in the work in the wrestling journalism field. Fightful, Post Wrestling, The Wrestling Observer. I know I'm leaving out some other ones, I guess, like PW Torch, places, PW Insider, places like that, because I feel like most of the time they actually get it pretty spot on because they all have their sources. But still, this is a crazy industry and all sorts of crazy things happen. So let's go back to September of 2014 and see what the latest rumors were back then and see how they panned out. First up, from 9/11/2014. Not sure what this means, but there's word going around that a major angle is planned for the Night of Champions pay-per-view on September 21st in Nashville. Nothing happened there. Seth Rollins teased to cash in, but they did the thing where he was beaten up by John. So John Cena and Brock Lesnar had a match, and Seth Rollins came down and teased to cash in, but John Cena beat him up and sent him packing before any cash-in was made official. Of course, that cash-in wouldn't happen until months and months later at WrestleMania. So no major angle at Night of Champions. It was kind of a whatever pay-per-view. Next, this is interesting. This is probably one of the more interesting things here. Ric Flairs' appearance on NXT TakeOver 2 could actually be for KENTA as opposed to his daughter Charlotte. WWE is apparently going to push KENTA really hard, really early, and he won't be treated like others in the position he's in, which is to say he won't have to overcome the obstacles of a big star outside of WWE who isn't treated as such in WWE. They've already shown a willingness to recognize as such by sending Hulk Hogan to Japan to push signing him. And then this rumor is from about a week before that. It says KENTA will officially debut at TakeOver 2 next Thursday, and it's expected he will immediately be a major player, possibly in the title picture right off the bat, or very soon after he starts wrestling. That never happened. He showed up, he teamed up with Finn Balor to have a feud with the Ascension, and then they had like a number one contenders tournament, which he lost to Balor in the second round, and he had a feud with Tyler Breeze after that, which he lost the blow-off to, which was really weird. I get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, they had big plans for KENTA for Hideo Itami, but then Finn Balor came around and they were like, because they got signed around the same time. We kind of have big plans for you that we had planned for KENTA. Something tells me he was like one of the two guys they had plans for, and they ended up going with Finn Balor instead of Hideo Itami, and then KENTA got injured like 9 months after he got to NXT. They really hadn't been doing much with him. A lot of start and stop, heel turns, etc., etc. Long story short, he ended up being released by WWE, and now he's great. He's back to being KENTA. He's Bullet Club. He's awesome. I think he's great, so it eventually ended up working out for him anyways. But yeah, his time in NXT and WWE wasn't really the best ever. Next up, next rumor, the WWE Network could still end up on cable television in the United States, much like the way it is in Canada. It's not something that is explicitly planned right now, but it's not being ruled out, and if the deal with Rogers in Canada proves a success as a potential avenue in the U.S., pending subscriber number improvement. This was in September, and the network had rolled out that previous February. So at that point, they were already talking about putting it on cable television, maybe as well as having the WWE Network. Maybe that was the deal. That never actually happened, of course. They just kept it on the WWE Network, and then it went to Peacock. They sold the licensing rights in the network to the cock. So, yeah, that never happened. This is interesting. Regarding TNA and a new TV deal, there are apparently up to 4 potential partners in play, one of which would be an even bigger than Spike TV, but doesn't cater to the same demographic. WGN America and Velocity, I don't know what that is, are two that are known, but there are two more that are possible. The one that ended up getting the TNA was, of course, Destination America. And it didn't last long at all. Then they ended up going to Pop TV. And now they're on Twitch. And, of course, Anthem? Yeah, that's what it is. No, what is it called? Access. That's what it's, Access. Anthem bought Access just for Impact TV. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, here we go. Some drama between WWE and CM Punk. So, the rumor in early September is that CM Punk's lawyers sent WWE a letter saying, hey, he wants royalties. Then on the 12th of September, there's this. When WWE slashed prices on all CM Punk merchandise, it was a response to the letter sent by his attorneys over royalties. The bad blood between the two sides has only gotten worse, and any idea of a reconciliation is probably years away. 7 years to be exact. And there was no reconciliation. He ended up on Backstage, 2 years ago? And he seemed to have the itch to wrestle again, but WWE was playing too many games with him. And then he ended up going to AEW, and now he's wrestling, and he wrestled Will Hobbs last week. It's still bizarre and surreal to see CM Punk back in the ring, but it's pretty great. That reconciliation never happened. Good friend of CM Punk, Dave Batista, his situation with WWE could be even shakier than recent reports have suggested. The idea of his returning is still in play, but it's also at least a possibility, and maybe a strong one, that he doesn't come back. And if he does, it's only going to be for one final match, which did happen 5 years later. He came back in 2019 and had a match at WrestleMania 35. So yeah, he left in 2014, came back in 2019. Because he was like, don't really jive with what's going on there creatively, people. Let's see here. Bray Wyatt's next feud could be with Dolph Ziggler over the Intercontinental Championship. This could start at Night of Champions in a post-match angle after Ziggler's match with The Miz. That never happened. He lost his Intercontinental Championship to Luke Harper, but he was part of the Authority. Rey Mysterio is said to have undergone stem cell procedures in his knee to continue healing in anticipation of a release from WWE to go work in AAA. There is no update on that front, but he's apparently getting ready to wrestle again and is in good shape. Yeah, he is. 7 years later, he's still in amazing shape. Them stem cells, man. I don't know what they put in them, but apparently they work pretty good. This is a sad one here. We're going to end on this one. This is sad. Makes me sad. He says, it says here, the reason WWE has decided to book NXT talents for upcoming episodes of Raw is to put over the brand in the hopes it will help sell the WWE Network. The idea of growing NXT into something much bigger than it is now is taking shape. Yeah, they grew it, and it was awesome, and it was amazing, and it was an hour long in the network, and it was brilliant. And then they made it 2 hours and put it on USA, and it was still pretty damn good. And now it's NXT 2.0, and it's a pile of horse shit. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out one of these other videos. Is there a year in wrestling history you want me to look at in terms of rumors? Please let me know in the comments below. I love doing these things. I love taking a trip back in time and seeing what things are being said about wrestling. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys want me to do another video on how much NXT 2.0 sucks? Yeah, I could totally do that if you want. Anyways, check out these videos. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.